Hey everyone, today I've got The Mitchells vs. the Machines movie review. It's a family versus robots in a vacation comedy that I almost forgot was coming out, but also was renamed from Connected. But are you planning to take a trip down Netflix lane to see it? So as far as the story goes, from the creators of the Lego movie Lord and Miller and directed by Michael Rianda, who also lends his voice to the boy character in this movie, comes out with a witty and hilarious animated movie about a family who are going on this road trip to send their daughter to college and want to simply be hands-free from their devices, but then technology fights back, and also in the form of robots. Now, when I first saw this trailer last year, I thought it looked like a very interesting concept because it touched on the issue that many people have nowadays, and that is being consumed and glued to their devices and technology in general. And the messaging here was that you should live in the moment, because if your head is looking down at a screen, you'll miss what's really important in life. And the story felt like a mix of different movies that I've seen, like from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs to iRobot and even Transformers, and it came off very basic and maybe even sometimes predictable. And I did actually like the original title of this movie because at least I understood that it was aiming towards the idea about having a strong family connection, even if they may have disagreements or not be interested in the same things that you are. And here it was flip-flopping the plot and themes of the movie. It was disorienting to me, like a robot malfunctioning. Now, as far as the casting goes, I was actually mostly impressed with the acting choices here. Danny McBride seems like a dad who is trying really hard to have a relationship with his daughter and trying to have fun and be heroic at the same time, even though, he's really trying to keep this family together, but maybe he's not always doing it in the right ways. Maya Rudolph, who was the mom in this movie, didn't seem to have much to do here except try to be the voice of reason, even if it didn't go quite the way you would expect. The main focus obviously was the girl Katie, who was getting sent to college, and she just really wanted to get the recognition that she thought she deserved, especially with, her talents. And she seemed to be the most talented out of her entire family, and I actually really liked her, and I definitely wanted to stick up for her character, and especially with everything that had transpired, and it just seemed like her whole world was, coming down on her, or it could be robots falling from the sky. And speaking of robots, Fred Armisen and Beck Bennett play probably the two hilarious robots in this entire movie. I feel like they made this movie 10 times more watchable. And then Olivia Coleman plays this evil phone villain. I mean, of course you gotta have a villain in one of these animated movies, and I almost didn't recognize her voice, and I was like, hey, that sounds like Olivia Coleman. And, I thought she was just positively evil in this movie, so I kind of liked her, even though she was picking on that Mark Zuckerberg kind of guy. And I even liked the family dog too. I thought it was just a really cute and interesting looking pug dog. And the things that I liked about this movie was that obviously the animation really stood out to me here, and not just because of the pop of color, but just how it looked stylistically. I felt like it was very unique when it used this mix of different mediums, and I feel like it worked for a movie like this. But of course it's Sony Animation, so they pretty much do whatever they want here. And it was laugh out loud hilarious. There was one point when I watched the movie and I spit out my drink watching this because of something unexpected happened. And it was just funny to see how the family reacted to a stressful situation and trying to get into survival mode. and using technology to pass the time and, trying to make things better. Because when one is without technology, I mean, you know how this goes. I mean, when people are without certain things like internet or a certain phone app, I mean, everybody just loses their minds. And there are so many pop culture references that I did not expect to see here, and it was effective, and it didn't take away from the overall story. And I did enjoy some of the action bits that looked pretty fun. But unfortunately, the things that I didn't really like about this movie was that while some things were funny, I felt at times it was too cheesy. Now, I understand that this is meant to be a kid's movie, so maybe they would enjoy it more than me, but I found it to be kind of boring and maybe a little bit over the top, so, yeah, I feel like I'm on the fence about this movie, but I still wanted to see it, even if there were plenty of changes since I first saw the trailer. So overall, I would say that I was, still impressed with what I saw, even though there were things that I didn't really like about it. And I would still recommend seeing this movie because, hey, even if I didn't like it, I think maybe your kids would like this movie even more. So it's on Netflix and you can check it out right now. So I would give this 3.5 hearts on the heart rate scale. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought of The Mitchells versus The Machines. And as always, you guys can subscribe to my channel. I've got more movie reviews, movie updates, come back every week for a Chill Thursday video. You guys can also like me on Facebook and follow me on Twitter. And I will see you guys later.